Alright, here I'm showing off what used to be my aunt's Bissell Powerforce Helix upright bagless vacuum. As I mentioned before in one of my other videos recently, this was one of the last few vacuums that my aunt was giving to me because she no longer had a need for them. It's not that she had too many vacuums, but it's mainly due to the fact that whenever something is wrong with the vacuum, instead of her dealing with it or fixing it herself or even just taking it to have someone fix it, she just decided to give it to me, or if I didn't want it, it would just go directly to a thrift store. Of course, I've decided to take up on her offers, so I got this along with her other shark. I'll show that some other time. And her rainbow E2Go that I already did a video on, but that one needs a switch. So, other than that, this is really nothing special. It's just a basic entry-level Bissell. No attachments on board. And you'll notice that the dustbin is kind of yellow. That's from what I am guessing had been faded from the sunlight. In fact, her other shark that I also got recently a couple weeks ago, the white has also since faded from it as well, and the only explanation to that would be just damage from the sunlight. So other than that, it works fine. The only issue was that it was just clogged with a bunch of dog hair through inside the hose, inside the dirt cup, and even down here as well. So I was able to managely get that out. Works fine for what it is, but I may just go ahead and take this whole entire thing apart and completely clean it out because it smells like a dog. But no, I'm not so sure if it's even worth doing so, because I'm over at my sister's, and I, of course, decided not to keep this myself, as I didn't even care about this machine at all whatsoever. And having pets herself, it also smells just as bad, or maybe not as bad as this, but it's pretty disgusting. So it's like, what's the point, really? Just washing the filters and replacing the belts, probably the best that it's just going to be. And it's likely that even if I took this whole entire thing apart, I'm just likely not going to get rid of the odors at all whatsoever. So other than that, that's basically about it. Here's the model number and such. Yeah, like I said, nothing special. I'll admit I was a little bit surprised when I got this machine, because back in 2018, I think it was, when I was given by my aunt 4 vacuums to service for her, but she would only keep 2 herself. So at that time, she had 3 Bissells and 1 shark, and she was only keeping 1 Bissell, and the other 2 were going to be given away to a thrift store. And I could have sworn that this one was going to be donated to the thrift store, because one of the ones that I serviced for her was a dual molder upright. I think it was one of the pet eraser models. I can't remember what it was, but yeah. And then the other Bissell she had as well was another Powerforce Helix like this, but it was blue. Yeah, and I could have sworn that the blue one along with this one was gone, and she kept the other Bissell to herself. But apparently she doesn't have that Bissell anymore, and of course she doesn't have the blue one anymore, so now it's just this one. And not to my surprise, that shark back then is the same shark that I got a couple weeks ago. So I'll show a video on that again, as I mentioned. But it pretty much would probably be the only time, because that thing is in much sadder shape than it was many, many years ago. So, other than that, because these are pretty basic, if I can do this with one hand, this is the only filtration it has. So for allergy or asthma friendly users, this is not what I would suggest at all. It does do a decent job for what it is, but I, in my right mind, would never pay that low for something like this, at least not back then and definitely not today, as you can still find these under the blue, of course. If I really had to spend so low on a vacuum, I'd rather just go to a thrift store and pay like a Kirby or something. Much more higher quality and such, and long lasting. So, anyways, still thought I'd go ahead and show it off because, it was my aunt's, and thought I'd go ahead and show off what she had because, of course, since I didn't want her to keep it, I still wanted to show it off anyways, even if my sister didn't want to keep this at all whatsoever. So main reason why I gave this to my sister was because her shark has been out of service a couple times, and once the time comes for her to replace a shark, she would have to go out and buy something. So giving this to her would definitely save her the money and a trip for a new machine. So anyways, without running my mouth anymore, let's go ahead and run it. So it does have a height adjuster. Belt's a little bit stretched, but you should still be able to hear the brush stroke going. So here we go. I'd probably say, in comparison to our shark, that this actually picks up better. Something else I thought I'd go ahead and mention just for fun as I wrap this up. When our house was under renovation and when we had to get somebody from the insurance company to clean it up, they brought one of these blue ones, the mates, over to clean with, and it was like brand new and out of the box. But even after watching them vacuum and seeing the tracks at least behind, I just wasn't that too impressed. But again, it does pick up, but it definitely would not be my first choice to get. If I really needed a vacuum, I would at least get the bagged Powerforce if I really had to break the bank or at least needed something to clean urgently. So hope you've enjoyed this, and thanks for watching.